Good afternoon, teachers. I am Vidat Iso, a grade 1 teacher, and today I'd like to share some tips with you on how I print, store, and organize my group guided reading decodable cards. So, teachers like you know that there are 7 groups of cards, and in each group there are 4 sets of cards with 4 oral comprehensions. And teachers, normally in your group you have about 10 or 12. If you have less, you're lucky, but that is a lot. It's a lot of cards to organize, it's a lot of cards to print and sort out. So I just want to show you what I did to make it a bit easier and to make my group guided reading more efficiently. So, first of all, I printed mine on color cardboard just to make it easier so that I could see the different cards that go together and I could see the different groups. So I did my first one on red, my second one on yellow, my third one on orange, and it went on like that. So I used all the colors in the rainbow. But the reason why I did it this way, so it was easier for me to see which card belongs with what set, and it makes it exciting for my kids. My kids get to move, they can see their progression. They move from one color to the next. So they get all excited. I'm no more on red cards, I'm on blue cards, I'm on the orange cards, now I'm on the green cards. It gets exciting and it makes them want to read, want to progress because they can see the progression happening. So I printed mine like this and it was quite easy to print. It's exactly like the instruction says. So I printed 2 on a card and I took 10 red color cardboard and I printed 2 on a card. I flipped it around and then I print the comprehension at the back. So you'll see I have my comprehension at the back and my story in front. So I printed 4 and 5 and I made 10 copies, and then I printed at the back. I printed 6 and 7 and it was easy. It didn't take as long as I thought it would. It went quite easy, and then I cut it in half and I had my cards. So then I had set 1 done and set 2, and then I did the same with set 3 and set 4. So it just made it easier. Then you can see what I did with mine to organize it. I laminated and I put each one on a keyring. The reason why I put it on a keyring holder is because it's easier to keep all 4 sets together. The moment all 4 sets was together, my children was able to use it easier and I was able to find it quicker. So you can see I took mine off the orange, I took off the keyring so I could show you. Before, I had it all loose. And what happened was that I had all set 1 together, all set 2 together, all set 3. And it was easy to hand out, each one takes one, but the moment it came back, it got all mixed up because your children throw it and I put it together. Now the next group come and I need to sort out, teacher, I got set 2 and I got set 1, and then I'm missing valuable time of my guided reading group. And teachers, you know that, yes, our time was extended, but it's still valuable. We have so little time with our kids one-on-one. Each and every minute is valuable. So having it this way was easier. I'd give my group the whole set and I'll say, take 1 and pass on. And each child grabs a ring and then I'll tell them, go to card 3, go to set 3, or go to set 2. And I'll show my kids, on top there is set 2. Look and see if you got set 2. And everybody could find it and we could start reading. It was so quick, so easy, no time wasted. They hand it back, I can put it in my folder just like that and hand it out to the next group and do the same and say, go to set 3, and they have to look for set 3. So I taught my kids this routine, and it never took long to teach them this routine. When it came to do group 3 and group 4, my kids knew the routine already and it made it easier. So that is how I printed, that is how I store mine to make it easier, and it's nice for little hands to hold. So it doesn't get lost, they can't bend it, they can't, because these are all things we have to think about. So that is how I organize it. So how I store it. Now teachers, we are all different. There are many different ways you can store it. You can store it so that it's easier for you. Again, teachers, we want to have everything together so that it's easier for you when it comes to your guided reading time. You don't want to waste valuable time. Make everything easier for you so that you don't have to feel overwhelmed, and our children don't need to feel that teachers are looking, teacher, and that is the time when they go on crazy and all the behavioral issues comes out. But when we are organized and we have routines in place and systems, there's no time for our kids to waste. So how I store mine. I store mine in a folder, but a folder with a, a binder on the side. So this I got from Take a Lot, and I store mine like this because I store each group in a folder. So you can see my cards all fit in here. So I have print cards, they all fit in here. So all my cards fit in here. I close it. But what is also in this folder is my activity cards, my activities for afterwards, my recording sheets, my observation sheets, my flashcards, and everything I'm going to use. I even put a pen in here. And now in my file, my flip file, my ring binder, I have 7 folders for each group, which makes it easier. When I'm teaching a group, I just take out that folder and I have everything to go. Why I like it in a file, the file is quite big, and why I like it in a file is because I can pick up my file and go with it where I want to. There's other ways you can store it. My colleague has hers the exact same, but instead of having it in folders, she has hers in plastic sleeves, which works out cheaper, but she has dividers. Group 1 and then all her things for group 1. Group 2 and all her things for group 2. Group 3 and so forth. She takes a file also where she wants to go. You can always also store it in a bucket, which is nice and easy if you'd like to see. This bucket is a nice size. It fits on my reading shelf. You can store your cards in here. You can store your flashcards, your activities, and everything in here. You can put a pen in here for you, so it's good to go. Another way you can store it is in containers like this, like the drawer system. And you can put your groups. You can have your cards in here. You can have your flashcards, your activities, your recording sheet, a pen, and everything. You're going to need about 2 or 3 depending on how many drawers you have. So there's many ways you can store it. The only thing with the drawers is it's not easy to pick up and to move where you want to go as it is with a file, and that's why I opt for the file, because it seemed to work for me. Teachers say you need to find a system that works for you, that makes it easier, and that makes your group guided reading session just flow. Teachers, I hope that you found this video valuable. Teachers, you might think that, oh, but this is going to take so long to do. It's going to take my whole weekend, or it's going to take 2 weekends. Yes, it might take a whole weekend. It might take 2 weekends. But if you put a system in place at day 1, and that system works for you and it goes, you don't have to do it ever again. You're set for life. I got systems in my class that has been working for the last 5 years, and it just makes time on the carpet, time at the table so much easier, so there's less time for misbehavior. So yes, it might take a little bit of time, but it will benefit you in the long run. Anyways, teachers, I hope you have an amazing group guided reading session and that your kids end up loving reading as much as we do. Teachers, if you want, I hope you find this valuable, but if you'd like more questions, you can just contact and they'll be able to answer all your questions that you need. I hope that you have a blessed day further. Thank you.